Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, I'm gonna talk about which countries in my quest to visit every single country in the world is in my top priority to visit first, and I'm gonna talk about that video coming up right now. Now, the four categories that I have as my main priority to visit first are: number one, dangerous countries; number two, rogue countries; number three, countries that the US hates; and number four, countries where there is a strenuous activity involved. So for dangerous countries, those countries are Burkina Faso, Central African Republic, Chad, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Somalia, South Sudan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen, and North Korea. So a lot of those countries the US also hates, which I'll talk about later on a section of the countries that the US don't want you to travel to. Now, Burkina Faso is dangerous because of the kidnappings, but I definitely want to visit that country. However, I'm not gonna stay there long, so it'll probably be a quick in and out for me when I go visit that place. Central African Republic, that's also difficult to visit, so that one is also gonna be a quick in and out. Well, I'll visit for one day and then come back out. I mean, there's a lot of cool things in the Central African Republic, such as the pygmies, but I don't think I'll have the chance to see them just because it's probably super expensive and the country's not very safe. There's also Chad, which has one of my bucket list travel destination, which is the Guelta de Archi, and this oasis is super hard to get to. It's also super expensive. Apparently Chad is safe in the capital city, but the moment you leave the capital city, it's not so safe. However, there are tour companies that can make it safe for you. So I wouldn't say Chad is one of the more dangerous countries. It's definitely not on the safest countries, but it can be safe if you just pay to have a guide and a tour company take you around. Libya is definitely not safe right now. However, because of the ceasefire, it looks like things are gonna improve for this country, and I wouldn't be surprised if tourism opens up in the next few years. Again, Libya is one of my big bucket list travel destination because of Leptis Magna and Gadamenes, so I do hope that things clean up for that country so that tourists can go back and check it out. Mali is also dangerous in certain parts of the country, which really sucks because I want to see Timbuktu, but the road going to Timbuktu is super dangerous, and as of now, there are no flights going to Timbuktu, so it's kind of hard to see this amazing place in this world, and I'm hoping one day they do open flights again so I can go check that out. Mauritania is actually on the list as well, and it's supposed to be dangerous, but I think it's getting safer now because I'm hearing more and more tourists going to that country. So I think right now it's on that list, but maybe it just hasn't been updated yet. Niger is also on the list. However, I did hear from people who travel to Niger that it's not too bad, as they say. There's even a US military base there. So perhaps it's not as bad as the media paints it to be, and perhaps it just got painted there because it's so close in vicinity to other countries that are perceived to be dangerous in Africa. Now, Somalia is definitely not a safe country. However, there are ways around it, such as going to the Peace Hotel in Mogadishu or avoiding the capital city of Somalia altogether and just going to Somaliland, which is a very safe autonomous region of Somalia. South Sudan has a lot of problems right now, so it might not be the safest place. However, I think for people who just want to go do a quick in and out of the country, I think it's okay. Afghanistan is another country that is pretty dangerous. However, if you go to Wakhan Corridor, if you enter from Tajikistan, I heard that that's a safe border crossing. So if I do go to Afghanistan, I'll probably go that route because I heard that route is the safest route for tourists. Iraq is technically a dangerous country. However, they have an autonomous region and you can go to a city called Erbil where it's super safe for tourists to visit, and that's probably how I'm gonna approach going to Iraq. Yemen is probably one of the most dangerous countries on this list, and if I do go to Yemen, I want to see Socotra because I'm a big nature guy and I want to see this alien landscape of the Socotra Island. It's also really safe there. However, it's tricky to get there because getting the visa and the tour is not something easy to arrange right now, especially because of the pandemic. But I found a few companies that do offer the tour, so that's something I'm willing to invest in moving forward to the future. And finally on the list, there's North Korea, which is definitely a country that I wouldn't say is dangerous for tourists, but you definitely have to be cautious when you go there and don't do anything crazy. Just do what they tell you, take your pictures, and then go. Otherwise, you might get in trouble. Now, on this list of countries that is also high in my priority, there's also rogue countries. Rogue countries such as Eritrea, which is not a dangerous country, but when I say rogue, it's very difficult to go there because they're very secretive, and getting that visa to go to Eritrea is quite challenging. Angola is also on the same boat. However, recently they started offering the e-visa before the pandemic happened. So I'm hoping that after the pandemic happens, that they'll re-offer that e-visa once again. Now on the list of countries that the US hates, there's Iran, which apparently is not even dangerous for tourists to visit, but because of the diplomatic issues between both countries, it's hard for anyone who lives in North America to go visit Iran. I do have a second passport, which I plan on using to enter Iran, and that's how I plan to visit it. Now, the last category is strenuous countries. And when I mean strenuous, that means there is like a big trek that I want to do there. And it's better I do them when I'm young, because if I do get hurt doing a trek, then I might not recover when I'm older. But when I'm young, if I do get hurt, I'll probably recover from it. So those countries would be Nepal to do the Annapurna circuit. There's also Argentina to the Patagonia hike. Yemen is also on the list because there's a lot of hiking involved when you go to Socotra. And for New Zealand, I'd like to do a camper van road trip, which is pretty strenuous, especially as you get older. And that's something I want to do before I get too old. So as you can see, the major theme of those countries that is high on my priority list is that right now I don't have any major responsibilities, so it would be good for me to go there right now before I have more major responsibilities in life that would make it irresponsible for me to go to those places. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and don't forget to sign up to the Travel Day free newsletter where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You'll also get today's tips and strategies on how to save money on travel for Canadians, how to go on around the world adventure travel for Canadians, and how to use travel to get more freedom in your life as a Canadian. You can sign up for that newsletter in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you then.